like to welcome everyone to the Reynolds Company online seminars. Today, in today's episode, will be Spectrum Controls. We have a special guest today, and Spectrum Controls will be giving a product update. Spectrum is one of Rockwell's significant Encompass partners, so we work closely with them, and so looking forward to today's Tech Talk. Before we get started with Spectrum, a couple of reminders of upcoming events that we have scheduled. Next month in September, we've got a couple of Tech Talks. The first one is configuring drives with Connected Components Workbench. So taking a step off of automation controllers for a bit and talking about drives on the 15th. And then at the end of the month, we'll have a Tech Talk on Control Flash Plus, which is a really a nice tool to use. We're encouraging our customer base to use the new Control Flash Plus over the older Control Flash. So we'll be talking about that on September 29th. And then the third week of September, we have our monthly users group. And the subject in September will be augmented maintenance and safety for motor control centers. So we're looking forward to that as well. We've got some diversity in September on the subject matter. And again, another reminder, if you would, we record our Tech Talks, like today's Tech Talk, and also our user groups. And after these talks are over live, we will post them to our website, Reynolds Online, and also to our YouTube channel. You can search for these on YouTube as well. And another reminder, we also have a third online event or online stuff called tech podcasts, and we call those TRC Talks. So those are TRC Talks are available wherever you get your podcasts, whether that's Spotify or whatever. A couple of other events that we have coming up, or one event we have coming up is Automation Fair. And so Automation Fair is a in-person event with also some virtual topics that you can, if you're unable to travel to it, there is some virtual events you can sign up for, but it will be an in-person event. It is in Houston this year at the George R. Brown Convention Center. So this is a save the date announcement, November 10th and 11th. We will be coming out with more information regarding events around Automation Fair, but we hope to see as many folks as can make it. And another announcement, earlier this summer, Rockwell had the Rock Live event, and those are there are a number of virtual sessions available now on demand if you didn't catch any of those, if you didn't catch Rock Live when it happened. So moving on for today, we have a couple of guest panelists from Spectrum Controls. We have Randy Mays is an application engineer, and also Garrett Edwards is the senior product manager. So with that, I'd like to turn it over to the guys, and I'm going to stop sharing and take it away. Randy and Garrett.
Sure. Thank you, David, for that introduction. Go ahead and enter into presenter mode. Okay. So as David said, I'm Garrett Edwards, Senior Product Manager for Universal Industrial Gateway at Spectrum Controls. And with me today, I have Randy Mays, our application engineer. A little bit about Spectrum Controls. We've been in business for over 35 years, since 1983, as a premier provider of complementary hardware and related software products for the industrial controls marketplace. Our partnership with Rockwell began in 1990 and has steadily grown ever since. At Spectrum Controls, we have products that fall into three major categories: multiple protocol gateways, which is the focus of today's meeting, and encompasses our Universal Industrial Gateway products. We also offer specialty I/O modules, which are fully licensed Rockwell Automation technology on virtually every PLC. And of course, our InView industrial message displays, which was previously a Rockwell Automation product line that Spectrum Controls took over and has made the easiest display to integrate with industrial controllers. All of our I/O modules and InView displays include support through Rockwell Automation's Tech Connect at no additional cost. So what is the Universal Industrial Gateway? It is a single solution for connecting multiple devices across multiple protocols simultaneously. So all in one single box, one single gateway. And with up to 4 serial ports and 1 Ethernet port, you can transfer data to and from any port in any combination, regardless of the protocol and whether it's serial or Ethernet. So this capability brings the connected enterprise to your devices and increases your asset lifecycle and availability. Visually speaking, you can see that the Universal Gateway is a single solution gateway with the ability to speak up to 12 protocols simultaneously, talk to multiple devices at once, and move thousands of tags in a single solution. It also bridges communication between Rockwell controllers, Siemens, Schneider, GE, and Automation Direct controllers, as well as field devices using the supported protocols that you see on the slide. With support for up to 12 protocols, that equates to 72 protocol combinations. And because the Universal Gateway operates as a master device, there are 6 slave-to-slave protocol combinations that you could also configure. Meaning, for example, you can communicate between Modbus RTU devices. From a datasheet perspective, a single Ethernet port currently supports up to 4 Ethernet-based protocols. The serial interface supports 8 serial-based protocols on either a 2 or 4 serial port option. Each serial port can be configured individually to support any of the 8 serial-based protocols, which means you can have 4 distinct serial protocols communicating on a single universal gateway. Also listed are the PLC types that we've tested against and include a variety of Rockwell, Schneider, Siemens, GE, and Automation Direct controllers. Finally, the Universal Gateway supports 100 tag pairs per map, a concept that we'll explore later, with a maximum of 50 maps, and that's support for up to 5,000 tag pairs in a single gateway. And the Universal Gateway also supports the listed data types and formatting methods that you see below. So byte swap, word swap, straight copy. As mentioned, it's available as either a 2 serial port or 4 serial port option with a single Ethernet port at this time, although we do have a dual Ethernet port model coming soon and will be offered at the same list price as you see. Users also have the option to select between 2 protocol packages. So you'll see on the part numbers there, a -P1 and a -P2. Those are the 2 protocol packages. And if you purchase a -P1 model, at any time you have the option to upgrade that -P1 into a -P2 model through a simple firmware upgrade, which enables all 12 protocols on the box. As we release support for more protocols, the same firmware upgrade process will be the key to adding more protocols to the Universal Gateway. With all this functionality in a single box, the Universal Industrial Gateway is extremely cost competitive. Not only is it cost competitive against any one-to-one protocol gateway, like much of its competitors, but it provides more standard ports so you can connect more devices. And because the Universal Gateway supports 12 protocols, it's the equivalent of owning more than 15 one-to-one protocol gateway devices, but without the added expense. So that means the more protocols you need bridged, the more money you save. So here at Spectrum Controls, we believe the universal gateway is a better way to gateway for 3 reasons. Communications made easy. Because it's a single solution that doesn't require any PLC programming or IO changes, and it's fully configurable, communications has never been easier. Easy to use, the browser-based configuration means no software to buy or to install, and a single user interface makes for intuitive navigation and consistent configuration for any protocol. Also built into the device is context-sensitive help that allows you to view help relevant to the screen you are configuring without having to search through pages of documentation. And finally, it's cost-effective. With the functionality of multiple gateways for the price of one, more standard serial ports than the competitors, and the ability to add protocols in the field through firmware upgrades, the Universal Industrial Gateway is extremely cost-effective. So what are the benefits of owning a Universal Industrial Gateway? First, it allows you to control the time and cost of integration. Engineering time is often underestimated during the setup and configuration of traditional gateway products, but the Universal Industrial Gateway greatly reduces both time and cost through an intuitive and easy to configure user interface, and by removing any need for IO tree configurations, add-on instructions, and ladder logic. Second, the Universal Gateway ensures assets are useful throughout their life cycle and available by keeping them connected. And because there is no IO tree setup needed, if changes need to be made, the controller will not need to be interrupted. Third, the Universal Gateway reduces maintenance costs and downtime. The single user interface does not require intimate knowledge of various product models or protocol expertise. But to put that in terms taken from our customers in the field, the Universal Gateway enables you to modernize your networks and retain your legacy devices, puts legacy devices back to good use, allows you to control what you upgrade and when you upgrade, control the migration from one brand to another, integrate a machine where you cannot modify the PLC ladder code, ensure that your machine integration can be integrated into any factory, and it allows you to get up running faster with a single solution gateway. It also reduces training costs because it is a single user interface and a single product. So before I show a quick demo of the Universal Gateway, I want to talk about the basic operation, which comes down to 3 basic components. First is devices. So within the Universal Gateway, you configure a device which represents a PLC or device that is physically connected to the gateway and will be communicating using one of the supported protocols. Within that device, we have tags. Tags in the gateway are linked to tags, data files, or Modbus registers in the device that it's connected to. And then finally, we have tag maps, which is really where the work is being done. A tag map will take a tag from one device, use it as the source, and move that tag data to a tag of another device known as the destination. So here's looking at a flow chart of this basic operation. And in this scenario, you can see I have 2 devices, and each device has a series of tags associated with it. Those tags will be used as either a source or a destination in what is referred to as the tag map. And this is all occurring within the Universal Gateway. So when I plug the PLCs into that, you see I have 2 PLCs, similar to the demo I'll be sharing today. One is a MicroLogix 1100 with Modbus RTU, and the other is a CompactLogix with Ethernet IP. I'm going to create a tag in the gateway that's tied to the Modbus register in the MicroLogix, and then another tag tied to a tag in the CompactLogix. This represents my source and destination in the tag map. So just a couple of quick notes. The Universal Gateway's IP address must match the subnet mask of the PLC it will be connecting to. So if the PLC's IP address is 192.168.10.10, then the gateway's IP address must be 192.168.10.NNN, where that's something other than 10 or 255. Also, as far as serial ports go on the gateway, serial ports are defaulted to 19.2 kbaud, 10 bits per word, with no handshaking, and RS-232 connection. These parameters are configurable, and what's most important here is when connecting a serial device to the gateway, ensure that the serial port configuration on the gateway matches the serial port configuration of the device that you are connecting to the gateway. And finally, you heard me mention context-sensitive help. So in the top right-hand corner of the user interface, you'll find a blue question mark. And when clicked, it'll bring up help content that's relevant to the screen you're viewing. So it doesn't just bring up the general help file and you have to go through searching for your area. It actually brings up help content that is relative to the screen in front of you. So now we're going to do a very quick 90-second video that'll demonstrate just how easy it is to exchange tag data between two different controllers, each with a different protocol. So the first thing to do here is add a device. You'll see the device name in this case is the Compact Logix. It's an Ethernet connection, and the address of that device is 192.168.2.167. Then we add the tag associated with that device. So we specify the tag name, description if we have one, data type, which is type integer, and the address of that tag. Next, we add our second device, which is our MicroLogix. This is a serial device connected to port 2. Protocol is Modbus RTU, and we keep all the other standard settings. For the MicroLogix, we specify the tag name as well, description if we have one, and a data type for that tag, which is unsigned 16-bit in this case, and the address for that register, which is 4001. Now we create the tag map. So what we're doing here is the Compact Logix tag is our source, the MicroLogix tag is our destination. That's our tag map. We give our tag map a friendly name, specify that we want this to occur periodically every 10 milliseconds, save it, activate that tag map, view it, and just like that, within 90 seconds, you see tag data going back and forth between the Compact Logix and MicroLogix device, all in less than 90 seconds. So in just 90 seconds, we connected two controllers, each with a different protocol, and seamlessly move tag data between them. And that's how simple that is, intuitive interface. And you noticed, in fact, I'm going to play that video one more time, just so you can see we added two devices, right? You can see you've got a drop-down menu for a type of connection, the type of protocols. The address obviously has to match the address of the controller. You have test device connection there to make sure that you're connected to the device. We are adding the tag associated with that device because these tags are what are going to make up our tag map for source and destination. We're moving data between the two tags. And again, in this case, we have a Compact Logix and MicroLogix. So there you see the 4 serial ports. We're connecting to serial port 2, speaking Modbus RTU, keeping all the other parameters, specifying the tag name within that MicroLogix, giving it a friendly description if we want to, specifying the data type, and specifying the address of that tag within the controller. Once you have your devices and tags, then we create the tag map. So here we have the Compact Logix tag, which is our source. Our MicroLogix tag is our destination. We name the tag map, just a friendly name. We can specify whether we take place on change or periodically. In this case, we did it periodically every 10 milliseconds. You activate that tag map, and like that, that's when the data starts moving back and forth. It's reading from your source, writing it to the destination. And that's just how easy it is. No IO tree changes, no ladder code to write. That simple. So please know that you can also find a series of short videos for the Universal Industrial Gateway on our YouTube channel. So that's youtube.com/Spectrum Controls. And each video is about 2.5 minutes long and provides a great overview for each of the 5 functional areas that are listed. And with that, we thank you for your time today. And I think right now we'll open it up for any questions. Thank you.